Well, in other stories, management of the Cape Coast Castle has devised a strategy to avoid mixed races for group tours due to altercations between Black Americans and Caucasian visitors. In the following report, George Queenan highlights the current state of the heritage site 359 years on.
It was in 2013 as a student on a school excursion. So coming back to the central region to cover the MPP Special Delegates Conference, I decided to get acquainted with the heritage site 20 years after. Let's do this. Across Africa, from the Sahara to the West African coast, there are numerous relics of early European interactions. The Cape Coast Castle, one of the country's most famous landmarks, was built in 1665 and played a significant role in the Atlantic slave trade era. Over 400 years, around 12 million Africans were shipped across the Atlantic. A tour of the heritage site provides insight into the 16th to 19th centuries African history.
Between 700 and 1,000 human beings were confined in the male dungeon of 5 sections. It meant that each section housed about 150 to 200.
Stories convey a range of emotions, from sadness to resilience and hope. Trying to lift one of these cannonballs is not an easy task, but during the colonial days, it was a form of punishment to these female slaves. And so if they refused sex to any of the colonial masters, they were compelled to hold it as long as they could. But how long can you hold this cannonball? When you drop it, it means it's a yes. So obviously, you'd have to batch eventually. It takes guts to endure the emotions, but what of those who cannot?
There was many occasions where some were slapped in the dungeon right after the introduction, especially the Caribbeans, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and the rest, and then the Rastafarians. For them, the whites have no business at all visiting the castle.
In controlling the situation, management restricts group tours to specific races.
It's physically making me ill, and it really bothers me that in America they're trying to end teaching this, and I hear that they have already stopped teaching it here. How dare you erase something that important and that heinous? You have to remember it so it never happens again.
Katrina Blau is from the United States of America.
Of course I'm sad for the people, you know, and their ancestors, even my ancestors. You know, I can't do anything about whatever my, ancestors did, but I have power over what happens in the future.
The dwindling number of artisans, including painters and carpenters, is causing difficulties in maintaining the heritage site. The castle is painted twice a year, taking months or more due to limited availability.
Some of them are also not well. Yeah, they are indisposed. And climbing this high facility, it is not easy. It is against it's a risk to them to do so. So only 3 of them that are capable to climb the ladder, they are also not enough for us.
The museum gallery, located in the castle, is currently unfunctional due to termite damage. Tourists often leave disappointed after visiting the gallery, which is part of the tour package.
It used to be West African Museum projects, and in fact, records indicated that for the whole West Africa, this was the best museum gallery, established in 1994. The COVID, we went locked down, and for almost 7 months, we were not opening the facility. So when we came back, when COVID came down, we realized that some of the panels were destroyed completely by termites.
A setback, which is open defecation close to the castle, has been partially resolved by management.
These days, you don't see open defecation, but we are told that in the evening, after we had closed from work, some do come to the area and then do it.
Over the last 6 months, 92,000 tourists visited Cape Coast and Elmina castles, with 75% being locals and Black Americans and Germans being the top foreigners. It's full of emotions after taking a tour of the Cape Coast Castle, because you are made to relive the ordeal our ancestors were taken through at the hands of the Europeans. It takes continuous maintenance of this heritage site to ensure that persons that patronize this very site, which includes tourists, diasporans and even Ghanaians appreciate well the stories told them. George Quinnin, TV3 News, Cape Coast Castle.